Hello and welcome to another pick a card reading. Today we're doing yes or no questions. So we have 4 piles, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Take your time, see which pile you're drawn to, or piles if you have multiple questions. And there will be timestamps below when you're ready, and I will see you at your reading. Hello and welcome to your pile if you picked the God card. Light attributes, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. Okay, so we're going to start this reading by pulling your yes or no card, and this will answer your question, so make sure you have that in mind. And we cut to a blank card. So when this card appears, it means that either there's other factors at play or Spirit doesn't want to tell you at this moment. So what I do when this card appears is I will pull some tarot to see why it appeared this way, or if there's anything we need to know to make it a yes. And then after that, I will pull 2 more of these cards face down, and you can see which one resonates with you to see if that changed the answer to your question. But right now, it's an up in the air unknown, or you can't know at this moment. Okay, so 3 of Wands, 2 of Cups, Seven of Wands, Temperance, and the 8 of Swords. So this looks like there's something that you've been, this is a long-term project, relationship. Now it can be a creative project, but to me it's a partnership of some sort. And this is something you've been maintaining, you've been putting the effort in to keep it going. I see that it's well established, but there's struggle to keep it. And I feel like the question here is if you should keep doing this, and almost like you feel stuck and oppressed in the fight you have to maintain the status quo, maintain what you've been doing. And to me, this looks like you are, in a sense, playing, God, because you're the one here that's been putting, from what I'm seeing, most of the work into whatever this partnership is to keep it as successful as it's been. So this is a general reading, so it applies to various questions, but that's what I'm seeing with that. So now we're going to pull some tarot cards to see what advice we need to make this a yes or no, depending on what it is you want. So this advice will apply for you depending on if you want it to be a yes or a no. So we have the 3 of Swords pop right up there, and the Page of Wands. This is telling me you need to honor your pain, honor your sorrow. And I know that's not a very good message, and I know that's not probably what you came on here to hear, but I'm seeing there's a need here with the Emperor on the bottom of the deck that you need to make sure I'm getting that you are the one that's in control, because I feel like even if you feel like you're in control, there is this underlying sense of you feel stuck and trapped and trying to balance it. So there's this need to really make sure that you are the one in control of the situation. And that's how it best serves you. So whatever that means for your reading. And with the Page of Wands and the 3 of Swords coming up, that to me, that's just sometimes situations aren't as great as we want them to be. And to me, this is just, you need to honor that maybe the situation's not what you wanted it to be. And I think that. I feel like with the Page of Wands, you realize that, I think. And I feel like that's why we have the oppression over here. Because I think that you are aware that, what are you fighting for? And I think that's kind of starting, like that question is starting to really percolate and grow and kind of is what I feel. Okay, so now I'm going to pull 2 more of these yes or no cards, and we are going to see if the answer has changed. Perhaps your question has changed. Maybe this was something to do with how you phrased your question. So I'll pull 2 face down, and then you can pick the one that resonates with you. Okay, and we'll start here. Unlikely. So that is a no. And then we will start here. You will change your mind. So this is a no, but this is because you decided that you no longer want this to be a yes, if that's what you picked. Or if you wanted it to be a no, then it will be a yes. Like, you will change your mind. Okay, so that's what I have. I am going to pull some oracle cards to get some more information on it, and at the very end we will pull a romance oracle in case this was a relationship reading. But if you just wanted the yes or no, then that's the yes or no portion. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, so we're going to start with the month of the year, July. So this summer is important, or someone who was born in July is important to this question in some way. And then we have kangaroo, unsettled times, need to plan ahead. Yeah, and I feel like that's just reiterating that, you know, if you feel like you can't keep up with what's going on around you, like if this is a question about a situation where you just feel like there's a bunch of small problems being thrown at you and you can't quite like keep your feet under you, this is reiterating that, you know, you may need to really put that effort in and plan ahead if you want this to be successful. Like if you wanted this to be a yes, then there's a need to really plan ahead and make sure that you can keep control of that. Like, I am getting this need, like a feeling of control is really important to this reading in some way, and almost like you can't quite grasp it. Or like you just, all your effort is trying to keep this in control, this situation. So we have the tiger, doing something risky, taking a chance. Table, hard work ahead. Yeah, we see that with the 7 of Wands as well. Hard work is brought up here quite a few times. Happiness and well-being. Okay, so that is great to see, especially with that 3 of Swords there. Peacock, beware of great pride. Okay, so I feel like this little message is saying that you can persevere and be successful at this, and how that means to you, and find your happiness in the good outcome. But you're going to have to keep working very hard at this. And, you know, there's this pride here, and I feel like this pride is something that will lead to the risky behavior. And I feel like that's also why we have the plan ahead, because being impulsive might not be the best move in this situation. There's a strong need to balance and to plan and to really put the work in. Okay, so let's see what's over here. You will be taken care of in difficult times, and increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. Okay, so this is just saying if this is a financial reading, then everything is going to be okay. So say you asked, you know, will I not be able to pay my rent or something like that? This is no. You will be able to pay it. It's just going to be a time where you're really going to have to plan and be careful with how you go about spending money and all of that. Because that's really referenced the work, the planning, not taking risky chances. But this says everything will be fine, even if it feels like it won't, and even if it feels like you can't really keep, you know, things stable. A new job, career. So yeah, if you ask about a job, and this says there is one coming for you as well. So if you ask financial questions or job questions, this looks like a very positive reading, despite the fact that there's a no. You know, and this really could just be how you phrased it. Say you asked, am I going to get a raise? No, you're going to get a new job that's going to pay you more. So that's what I'm seeing. But really, I think for a lot of you who asked this question, it's how you phrased it, because I do see that there is money and a job coming in here. Okay, so I am going to pull some Spellcaster to get some more information. Finding. Yeah, so if you are looking for answers, looking for something, looking for a job, a relationship, more money, you're going to find it. So what we see here with the finding card. And we have home being referenced. And we have closure and life purpose. Okay, so that just tells me that if you're up in the air about what you want to do for a job, for school, for relationships, anything major in your life, with the home and the Norman, to me, this card often speaks of your comfort, your security, your well-being, your private life, just you and your immediate world. So I feel like you're going to find your life purpose through this no, like whatever this is. It's a no because there's something better. And I feel like this isn't like a no, it's everything's over. I feel like it's a no, it's how a no and how you phrased it. Like I was saying with the job, if you asked about getting a raise, no, you'll find a better job. So it's through this closure that you're going to find something better for yourself, and you will find it. It's just how you phrase this question. It's a bit different. Hence that like you will change your mind, and why it's kind of up in the air, the answer. Oh, okay, so we're going to use this one. The energy is gaining momentum. Yeah, so if you feel stuck and trapped, like we saw with that 8 of Swords, things are going to start moving for you. That's going to start changing soon. You're going to start finding your answers to things. And we also have You Are Good Enough fall on the floor. It fell face up, so I want to honor that card. You know, if anyone is asking this question about they feel like maybe they're not capable or competent and they can't really maintain it, or they've been working so hard to maintain something and they feel like they're failing at it, this is saying you're not. This is saying that you are good enough for any change that you want. And if there's something you don't want to go after because you feel like you're not good enough, this is saying you should go after that. And you know, that could be why we have the change your mind. There could be 2 things you're debating, but you feel like one is within your reach and one is not. And this is saying no, that one that you don't think that's in your reach is actually in your reach. And then we have the answers you need are coming. Yeah, this just goes back to the finding card. If you feel like you don't know what to do, or you feel like you're kind of stuck, or you feel like things aren't moving, or you feel like you're lost, this is saying that all that work and energy you put in, it has a purpose, and you'll know that purpose very soon. It just might not be the purpose you thought it was for. It might turn out all that work you put in was for something different, but you needed that to build the foundation. Okay, so, and if this is a relationship reading, we're going to pull a romance oracle. Now, if you're not asking a relationship reading, you can ignore this. It's just for those who are asking relationship readings. Okay, so we have engagement. So if anyone asked an engagement question, this is confirming that yes, that is coming. You know, it could just be timing. Maybe you asked if it will be this month, but actually it's going to be in the summer. And then we have July, and then we have the sun. So this could be a timing issue if you asked an engagement question. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for you. Please let me know in the comments below if it did or did not resonate. I love hearing from you guys, and thank you for watching. Hello and welcome to your pile. If you picked this pile, you picked the Rescuer card. Light attributes. Provides strength and support to others in crisis. Acts out of love with no expectation of reward. Okay, so we're going to start by pulling the yes or no card. And this card's going to answer your question as a yes or a no, so make sure you have that in your mind. When you least expect it. Okay, so this is a yes. It's just not on your timeline or on your planning. So you might not have as much control over when it happens or how it happens, but it's a yes. So we're going to pull some tarot cards to see if we can get some more information on the situation, like some advice. We have the Ace of Cups. So some of you are asking about new relationships. You know, these 2 cards popped up in the first reading just before this. So, you know, maybe you came from that reading here. But this is saying that there may be an ending to something in your life. And then we have the Ace of Swords and the rest. Okay, so, you know, the Death card tells me that this is something that's an ending because it's outlived its usefulness. It's not something that was like stolen or stripped from you. It's something that just kind of, yeah, and there it is. It's just something that is on its way out because it's done what it's needed to do. It's taught the lessons it needed to teach. And you know, I get a feeling that a lot of this sorrow here that we have with the Three of Swords, I am going to pull some clarifier cards because, yeah, there's that sorrow. I was wondering if that card would pop up. And that gives me that, you know, that's that bittersweet feeling with I was getting with the Ace of Cups and the Three of Swords. I wonder if a lot of this energy that we have here with the Three of Swords and the Five of Cups is because it's not on your timeline. Like waiting for someone else to make the move or do what has to happen. I am going to honor the message that I'm getting, even if it's not the happiest message. To me, this really does look like there's something in your life that's on its way out. Something wasn't all you expected it to be, or wasn't all it was supposed to be, or it was lacking something. And I feel like that's where the Three of Swords comes in. It was just lacking something. With the Death card here, I do see this as something that you kind of knew was changing, and this could be a good change. The Five of Swords comes up when there's some loss and regret, but it's also because this person and the card is focused on what they're losing, but they don't see what's the good that comes with it. So, you know, with the change, there's always new things coming in. And I feel like that's why we have the Ace of Cups and the Three of Swords, because there's a change that's bittersweet, but there's this amazing thing with the Ace of Cups right here. And this card did pop up first. So that tells me that this new beginning, this new relationship or creative project, or this new thing that it's highlighting here, which is likely why like you have a yes, is because of whatever this ending is. I feel like this ending is what's going to allow this to be spurred in and come to you. So that's what I'm seeing with that. I am going to pull some tea leaf cards. So if you are only here for the yes or the no, then that's the yes or no portion. This is just advice, and any other information we can get on the reading with oracle cards, kind of like a why if you want to know the why. Okay, so September is important for some of you who picked this. So this could be about school with September. You know, maybe some of you asked this about school and about going to college or university, and you will have to leave your friends to do that, but it will be an amazing experience. So something like that really embodies the feeling I'm getting with these cards, where there's something amazing, but it comes with a kind of bittersweet ending. Okay, and then we have misunderstandings and too much concern with sexual matters. Okay, so to me, this could just be nervous energy as well. So we have misunderstandings due to jumping the gun. Be careful not to assume things. And I'm going to get a few more of these. You'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. Okay. So in some way, this ending is going to be a precious gift with the diamond here. And I feel like that makes sense to whomever picked this pile. And then over here we have on the cups, which this cups I feel like is whatever you asked for popping up saying like, yes, you'll get it. Just there's something out of your control that you can't really control the timing. Someone going out of your life or the end of a situation with the casket. The leg, stepping into a new experience. Tulip, great passion. Funnel, period of frustration, lessons to be learned. Okay, so, you know, this just feels like what I've been saying, that there's going to be an ending because of something new entering your life. Like going to school or starting a job or doing, or, you know, even say you're deciding between, you know, two people to date, you have to, like when you become exclusive, you have to turn one down, right? And then we have the frustration and the passion. So, and to me, these two cards just kind of feel like the reiterating the misunderstandings in the sexual matters. So don't be hasty in the decisions you make. And I do feel like there's a lot of passion involved, a lot of high energy situations in here, despite the fact that there's only the one ace, like the one cup, because we have the passion in the sexual matter. So I think this is something that is highly emotionally charged for you. And I expect there's a lot of small things a lot of little small things here that kind of add up to make something bigger. And you know, another message I'm getting with this is that you can't push this situation. So getting frustrated over the fact that you don't really have control over when it happens, or you can't like speed it up, or you can't make it go on your timeline, I feel like that's going to be a big source of frustration for you who picked this pile over this situation. Okay, so I am going to pull some spellcasters. Oh, clarity, willpower, and psychic abilities. Okay. Okay, so what I'm seeing from these three cards is that you need to trust your intuition. It's on point, and it's going to help guide you through this situation. The willpower tells me that the willpower brings me back to the rescuer card. I feel like you have the ability and the capability to deal with whatever is thrown your way. You know, these frustrations, misunderstandings, you know, this painful situation, this ending that's on its way out. You can deal with any of it. And I feel like this is just reiterating the fact with the rescuer card is some strength in a crisis, right? And then the willpower. So if you feel like you can't, like you want to crumble, like if you feel like you're going to crumble, which is the message that I got, you won't. You're going to be amazing. You're going to be able to handle anything thrown your way. This is just saying you can look to your intuition for help, advice and guidance here. So don't ignore that as you go about the situation, because you may feel like you're lost in a jumble with all of this misunderstandings and frustration and all the strong emotions you might feel, but this will not steer you wrong. This won't steer you wrong, rather. So we're going to pull a few of these as a final message. Emotions are running high. Yes, what did I say? The emotions are going to be so high, which we saw with the nervous energy and the passion. So you really need to make sure that you get back to basics, and you really need to make sure that you meditate, find clarity, make sure that you can control those so you can think and see clearly in the situation. Your hard work is paying off. Yeah, and that goes back to willpower, that you have the ability to make anything happen, even if you feel like you don't. Like, you can't let your emotions get the better of you, and you can't let them tell you that you won't get the outcome that you want, because it's a yes. It's just you have all these frustrations, and I feel like there's a bunch of them all like snowballing to become something, to feel like it's something bigger. I feel like September, this will likely be resolved by September, but I also see what that is expected. This isn't something that you can say, okay, on August 34th, it'll be 34th. That date doesn't even exist. So yeah, I feel like there's no way you can control this. Like, you can't say by a certain date it's done, because it's very likely there's someone else in control, or just be that there's just so many small things that you can't, like you can't control that many things that are up in the air. And then we have luck is on your side. Yeah, so that tells me this is going to be an amazing like an amazing outcome, even if you don't feel like it is, even if you're bogged down in whatever this ending is. And I feel like you know this ending, for the majority of you, is a gift in and of itself. It's an amazing gift. So like I keep going back to school, like as an example, like starting school in September, because like that's just the feeling I'm getting, where you know you have this amazing gift of a new experience in a new city and a new potential friends, but you're leaving everything that you know behind. And so you just want to enjoy the experience, the time you have now, and you just want to do everything and do all the things, make all the memories. Do you know what I mean? Like that feeling of the time is running out because you have to do it all, and then all of the emotions in there. So that's really the feeling I'm getting with this question, and I hope that made sense. But a message I'm getting that needs to be reiterated is that you will conquer anything thrown your way as this ending moves out to bring in this amazing situation and this yes that you asked for. Okay, so for anyone that asked a relationship reading, we will pull a romance oracle. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Yeah, so if this is a relationship reading, this is saying that yes, this is real. You know, some of the emotions could just be not knowing how to move forward or not knowing how they feel about you back in the dating period. But this says that there are feelings and that you should explore them. And again, if you didn't ask a relationship reading, then you can ignore that question, that oracle card. Okay, so please let me know in the comments below what did and did not resonate. I think this is everything I'm getting for you guys. And thank you for watching. Hello and welcome to your pick a card reading. If you picked this card, you picked the guide card. Light attributes represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. Okay, so we're going to start the reading by picking your yes or no card. So make sure you have your question. Okay. A careless mistake will cost you. Okay, so this is a no, and this is because there's going to be a reason behind that no. So we're going to pull some tarot cards, and we're going to see why this is a no, and if there's any advice on how to make it a yes, if you want to make it a yes. So we have the Lovers. That looks like a relationship or like a decision of some kind. That's often choices. Okay, so then we have the Eight of Wands and Justice. Okay, so this looks like some of you might have a decision that's being made or has to be made with the Justice and the Lovers, and this may have to happen fast. This also could just be a lot of decisions that have to be made very quickly. I'm wondering if some of you who asked about travel. Okay. And the Death was the bottom of the pile after I shuffled these three. Okay, so I'm going to start this tarot section by saying there are a lot of major arcana going on here. And to me, this does reiterate that there is a decision that has to be made, or something has to be like made right. Balance and fairness comes up with the Justice card. But this really looks like there's a situation here that's going to play out, and it's going to come to an end. And this end is one where, you know, to me this just kind of looks like the careless mistake is being here, but I feel like it's not really a mistake. It's more that someone wins and someone loses in this. And that win and that loss is being referenced here. So, you know, so this really does look like there is going to be some loss. Someone is going to win and someone is going to lose. I am getting legal issues here. I'm not going to go into that, but that is referenced here. And I'm not seeing here if you win or you lose. This is just saying that someone will win and someone will lose. And this ending is something that you've seen for a while. Like, it will happen suddenly, but this is something that's been a long reaching process. This is something that's gone on for a while. Because the Knight of Pentacles is a slow moving card, and then the Death is something that, you know, it's reached a natural conclusion. Now, if you wanted to know, then that's a good outcome for you. I am going to ask to see if there's any way to make this a yes, if you want it to be a yes. Okay, so I really don't see that as being a way to make it a yes, really. I think that the majority of you who picked this pile are okay with it being a no. The Ten of Cups tells me that, you know, you will be happy with this outcome regardless. The Ten of Cups to me is an amazing card. It's like the happy ever after. It's your pinnacle of contentment, of happiness. It's just joy in a card. And to me, this looks like a decision has to be made. And maybe you've been putting this decision off. And it's something that's, you know, you had to make the decision. And I feel like if you picked this pile, you knew the decision you had to make. And I feel like this is just you quickly kind of ripping off the Band-Aid and making that decision. If there's other parties, then maybe they're the one making the decision. But I feel like this is the decision being made and happens quickly. And, you know, this could be news from afar as well. Like, if this is something that's happening not in your immediate surroundings. Like, if this is like a legal issue or something, like getting a job, signing a contract, something along those lines, this could be messages, the news of that. I'm not seeing any negative cards, so I really feel like this is... Well, beyond this card. So I feel like this is a positive no. Like, even if it's something you want and it's a no, you're still very happy with the outcome. And it's just saying to focus on the happiness around you right now. So if there's no movement in your situation, it's going to speed up very fast with these two cards. I can see it happening very suddenly, and it will be over in like a flash. So even if the situation has gone on for a while, and it seems like the ending is like, you know, you can see the ending, but the ending, you don't know when it will happen. It's going to happen kind of out of nowhere, and it's going to happen very fast. And it's very likely that it's going to be from like communication or in like energy from someone else kind of coming into your orbit. So this concludes the yes or no portion of the reading. So if that's all you wanted, then you can click off, but I am going to pull some oracle cards to get some more information, and I will have a romance oracle at the very end for anyone who is asking a relationship reading. Okay, so that's enough. Yeah, so we have Tortoise, slowly but surely getting ahead. Yeah, I was really getting the slow energy and then the very like out of nowhere quick completion of this. So we have February and November being referenced. So, you know, this could be people born in these months. It's also likely that it's November through February. Seek out the information that will help you. Okay, so for some of you, this is going to happen over the winter months, the winter period. This is when you're going to resolve the situation. So it could be a timing issue. Like, information becomes known that lets you make this decision that's been dragging on and lets it come to a natural ending. Okay, and then we have news is on the way. Excitement. Yeah, so this is going to be good news for most of you who picked this pile, which we can see with the Ten of Cups here, because the Five of Swords rather, is someone wins and someone loses, but there's no other negative cards here, so I really feel like you are on the winning end of this, despite the fact that this is a no. So if you asked, because how you ask a question is important. So if you ask like, will I lose this? Or will this rule in their favor? Or, you know, do they hate me? This is a no, because that's not true, right? And so you're going to get the answer to that very suddenly. But I feel like it's going to be slow progress until that happens. So we have courage, compassion, and prosperity. Okay, so this tells me that you need to have the courage to plod on, even though it's going to be a slow process. And you need to have the courage to do what needs to be done when it needs to be done. I feel like there's going to have to be a major decision made, and you're going to have to make sure you have the courage to do that. And then we have compassion, which tells me that you will have to, we're all just human. So compassion for yourself if there's a mistake made, compassion for others if you end up winning this ruling, just compassion, understanding as you go through this process, but just to have some compassion for the process as well, and your actions and just you and how you go through this situation. And then we have prosperity. So I feel like this goes back to the outcome and the message. So whatever this is, whatever this ruling is, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be in your favor. Expect excitement, expect prosperity, abundance. The bird and the wands tells me that this is likely something very fast and maybe something from, afar. So phone, emails, text, it could come in those kind of ways. Okay, so we're going to pull some of these as a final message before we move on to the romance oracle. Okay, so you're very close to achieving your goal. That tells me that this is going to happen very soon, this exciting news that's coming, so that this may feel like the situation is never ending, that you've been on this path for a while, but this is saying it's going to resolve itself very soon, but there is a need for healing. So, and that goes back to the compassion card. I feel like that you need to have compassion if there's been mistakes made, if there's been choices that maybe weren't the best choices. You need to have compassion for that, because we're all just human. But the feeling that I'm getting here is you're at that last push, and you just need to be kind to yourself and to have the courage to complete it. It's really what I'm feeling. I'm wondering if this here goes back to just maybe you feel like you've made a bunch of mistakes over this whole process and you feel like it will not be resolved in your favor, which is not the case. Like, we're seeing that it's just been a long process, and that need for compassion and healing is really being pointed out, and it's a really strong message to just have that compassion and have that healing, because you're almost there, and I really feel like it's going to come out of nowhere, where you're not going to be aware of it. You're going to be living your daily life like your status quo, and then this ending is just going to make itself known, is what I'm seeing. Okay, so that's what I have, and I'm going to pull a romance oracle for relationship readings. If you're not asking a relationship question, then you can ignore this. That's okay. Let go of control issues. Yeah, let the situation unfold naturally. And I feel like this can go for the reading in general. If you are trying to really control every step of the way, then maybe this is just like telling you to just let life flow. Let it flow and let it come to you, because we see it's coming to you and it's not really in your control with these cards here, is what I'm seeing. But there is this happiness here with this outcome. So I feel like a lot of you just phrased this question wrong. I feel like there's something with how you phrased it, because you are so happy with the outcome the way it is. And I see excitement with this news. So it's not necessarily a bad ending. There is this Five of Swords. So there is some winning and some losing going on, but I don't see it being negative. I see it being very positive. I see you being very happy. So that's what I'm seeing with this reading. Please let me know in the comments below what did and did not resonate. I love hearing from you guys, and thank you for watching. Hello and welcome to your pick a card reading. If you picked this pile, you have the Storyteller card. Light attributes, ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. Okay, so we're going to start this reading by pulling your yes or no card. So just make sure you have your question in your mind, and we will grab the answer. There are other factors at play. Okay, so this is an unknown, or it can't tell you because there's other things going on that will influence the outcome. So comes up like this, what I do is I pull some cards to see what needs to be known, maybe some advice, and then we will pull 2 more of these to see if the answer has changed. Okay? And we have the moon. The sun's on the back of the deck, which is awesome. So, and then the hanged man. So there's some, it's just reiterating there are things you can't know, some illusions, some hidden information, some hidden things going on right now. You know, sometimes you just can't know an answer. Sometimes the spirit doesn't want you to know for various reasons. And this could be one of those situations. Yeah, it could be a karmic lesson. Okay, so let's see if we can get anything. Knight of Pentacles, 9 of Swords, 7 of Swords. You know, the feeling I'm getting here is that it's almost like this is a situation that you've been plotting through and there's some hesitancy to make a move or to move forward or to get off or to just make some kind of movement because someone will get hurt. And I think that someone's not you. I think it's someone else. And I think that if you made a move, made a decision, someone would get hurt, or it's almost like you feel selfish making a decision, and so there's this worry and rumination over it is what I'm seeing with that. So we're going to pull a final card to see if there's anything else, but yeah, and there's this need to in the Ace of Swords with the Tower. So, you know, there's this need to really be, I don't want to say cutthroat, but you need to be very logical and analytical with how you go about this. I feel like a lot of this confusion, I don't want to say that it's in your head because it's not in your head. We have the Storyteller and the Moon here, and that tells me that there's a lot of, I almost feel like there's a lot of things you're being told and you don't really know what to believe or what to trust. And there's a need to really cut through that. And we're going to get some advice because this is, okay. This just all goes back, the Five of Pentacles goes back to a lot of what's going on. And I feel like the message you're being told here is that this question goes beyond the yes or no you're asking, that there's something else deeper at the heart of this. And I feel like you asked this question the way you asked it because the other alternative would be you making a move that would hurt somebody else or that would take you out of your comfort zone. So you ask this question instead of the one that you should have asked. And I hope that made sense, but that's what I'm seeing there. So I'm going to see if there's any advice on how to make this a yes, or, you know, what you should be asking instead or doing instead. But I really feel like there's a move that you want to make. It's almost like you feel like it'd be a selfish move and you feel like there's no way you can make it. And so you asked this question instead. And it's saying there's a need to really be logical about this and really just focus on, you know, the swords are about logic and analytical thought and reasoning. And there's that Ace of Swords again. Yeah, this is just saying you need to get all the information about a situation. That you need to really cut through what's going on and you need to really be I feel like you know the answer, and I feel like you feel like you don't, but I think you're really just telling yourself that you don't know the answer. And I feel like even though things are maybe confusing and you may not know what is truth and what is not truth, I feel like deep down you are aware of the decision you have to make and you are aware of what is fact and what is story. And you know, I'm really getting this, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm really getting this feeling that there's a move you want to make, but you feel like you can't make it, or it's the wrong move, or it would be it would just end badly. But the need to be tactical and the need to be, it's bringing up the need to be careful and shrewd with how you go about planning it. And I feel like, because your intuition's on point with the moon, like you can trust your intuition when that card pops up. And I'm seeing that with the Ace of Swords and the Page of Swords, especially with the Seven of Swords, that any move you make would be the right move. Like you can think clearer than you think you can. And I feel like it's because you know the answer. You just don't, like you're just worried about taking that step in that move. So that's what I'm seeing. And we're going to pull 2 yes or no cards. You can use the same question or a different one. And we'll put 2 piles. And we'll see how the answer's changed. Okay, so we're going to begin with this pile and see why we have 2 in a way you wouldn't expect. Okay. So when this card pops up, it's pretty much, in this reading, I would say stop asking. It's telling you to stop asking. Generally, it pops up when there's other factors at play, something they don't want to tell you, or it's not quite an easy yes or no answer. So when it pops up like this is kind of like, this is when I would stop asking for myself, because we have a maybe and then in a way you wouldn't expect, and then this. So it's pretty much saying that this is a surprise for you, or you're not going to be able to figure out the move yet, because you haven't reached this sword moment yet. You're still in the moon moment, and you need to reach this sword moment. And that's something that you haven't quite reached yet, because you're still kind of in the ruminating phase, and there's a need to really think strategically about how you can solve the situation in a way that most benefits you. And this is going to be a time, and I mean this in the best way possible, and not like, I'm not saying go hurt people, but if you like, being selfish might serve you in this situation, and you might not have thought about those scenarios yet. You may not have thought about doing things that may seem selfish. So if you picked this pile, it's a yes, but it's not in any way you could ask right now, because you haven't figured it out yet. And then this one is to great success, so that's a yes, an outright yes. Okay, so I'm going to pull some tea leaf cards. And if you just wanted the yes or no, then that's the reading. These are just going to go more into the situation and the why. Oh. Okay, and there's the leg stepping into a new experience. So that is this other factor, this other thing, this way you wouldn't expect that we're seeing pop up. Okay. Changes in your life. So we have the moon card again, which I always love when that happens. So this just reiterates it's not how you're expecting or planning it to happen. So, and then we have the man. This can be any person. It just specifies there's a person here. Wish will not be granted. It was actually stuck, like it was sticky. So that's for somebody. This is a person. You're not going to get what you want from someone. And if this is about you waiting and expecting someone to keep a promise, then that could be a specific message for someone. Carriage, a journey, either physical or mental. Yeah, so there's a journey there. Now this can be a trip, a travel, this could be a move. For some, this is just going to be like a mental shift, like how you're thinking, like a change in how you're thinking. March might be important. Now this is a timeless reading, so it's from when you're watching it. This also could be someone born in March. It could be someone important for you. And then we have fly, a period of ill health and depression. Yeah, so this is just kind of going back to the Nine of Swords. Just that rumination, just that constant fixation on something. Often it's something you can't control, because, if you could control it, you would make it like not be that way. Okay, so we are going to pull some spellcasters. So we have peace. Yeah, so that tells me that any of this nervous energy that you have, any of this feelings of anxiety, any of the Nine of Swords energy, that's going to go away. That's going to be resolved and things are going to clear up. Any of this, you know, ill health or depression, any of that feeling, again, I'm not a doctor, just reading the cards there, that's going to go away as well. And then we have talent. Yeah, so I really think that a talent is being brought up here. So, you know, someone asked about a creative project. This is saying that yes, you are talented at it. It might be in a way that you like, it might be in a way you didn't expect. So, you know, maybe you asked if you would be an author. Maybe it's yes, but not the kind of books you expected to write, like that kind of thing going on. But talent is at play. So there's a talent being brought up here. And if you ask for confirmation on if you had a certain skill, then this is a yes. You have that talent or skill. Luck is on your side. Yeah, right on the talent. So this just confirms to me that if you're asking about a project, a creative project or endeavor or something, then yeah, and you're very skilled at it. Your hard work is paying off. Yeah, and you know, luck, you're earning your luck. You're putting the work in to get the outcome. This isn't just falling in your lap, like you're putting the effort in. Step out of your comfort zone. And I think that just, you know, is going back to the Nine of Swords and the Seven of Swords. If you're doing the same thing every single day and expecting different results, well, that's just not, you know, that's not going to happen. You need to do different things, and that could be changing how you're viewing a situation, which is what I was saying before, that maybe you're thinking about it wrong, going about it wrong, and there's a need to be inquisitive with how you solve it. We're going to pull a romance oracle for anyone who asked a relationship question. And if you didn't ask a relationship question, then you can ignore these. We have engagement and playfulness. Yeah, so if you asked a relationship question, this looks amazing. We have the engagement here, which is like a coming together or a proposal if you asked about that. And then we have playfulness. But there's a need to enjoy the experience. This is a process. This isn't like outcome focused, right? This is a process. So enjoy the experience, enjoy the time in each other, and just have fun with the experience. This isn't outcome focused. It's the journey, right? Like, you have to enjoy the journey as well. So that's what I'm seeing for you guys. Please let me know in the comments below if you did or did not like your reading. I love hearing from you, and thank you for watching.